According to Brandon Aiyuk, JD5 basically said, stop doing the social media stuff. In the actual message that Aiyuk, and he did a story post again, Aiyuk finally speaks out again after about 24 hours of not hearing from him. Aiyuk said he's being held captive without pay by the Niners, despite the fact that he refuses to apply for reinstatement. Also that he is potentially being told by JD5, I don't do this social media shit. So you've got my number. Call me, is what JD5 told Aiyuk. So Aiyuk's back on social media complaining, talking about how the Niners have held him captive. You can see him here. He's saying he doesn't get paid, and Jaden Daniels has been declining Brandon Aiyuk's phone calls, is another report that just came out. Because Brandon Aiyuk said, this is probably piggybacking off of this story post, that piece of news, because in here he says that guy doesn't return my calls. He tells me I should be reaching out to him on the phone and not on social media, but he's ducking me, essentially. Just more nonsense. And Brandon Aiyuk, I still think there is a shot he plays for a team this year. I still think there's a shot he plays for the Commanders, but he's certainly flushing a lot of that down the toilet. Sometimes the perception of these things is different than we think. Sometimes it's worse. So we have to keep an open mind that anything is possible, but it does feel more and more unlikely that the Commanders are going to want to deal with this. We're talking about deep sleepers. We're talking about drafting. We'll be drafting on Underdog promo code Smitty. So get 50% on your first deposit in bonus credit by punching that link that's pinned in the live chat. Underdog promo code Smitty. Underdog promo code Smitty. Link is in the description. Link is in the live chat pinned. We'll be. Hold on. I got a phone call here. One second. Hello. Yep. I'm in the middle. I'm about to hit the intro, Ma. I'm about to hit the intro. The meatloaf sounds great. Of course. Yeah. I demand more meatloaf, Ma. Last time you didn't put enough ketchup on it. I demand more meatloaf.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Demand, Claiborne, demands more respect because this guy has breakout potential. This has a little bit of that H.N. Kyron Williams, situation going on here, potentially. And I think that there's a chance this ends up being good for him in this situation, exactly the situation, because you have Jordan Mason who can't catch anything. He can't catch a cold. So he's not a threat overall, right? This team is looking to replace Jordan. They don't need a guy like that can't do everything. Aaron Jones is old. This is very much one of those situations where I can envision week 9, 10, 11 where no one else is even healthy and Claiborne gets the call. And it does take a special coach and a special supporting cast and coaching staff in general to believe in a player with his skill set in his frame. This is very much Alvin Kamara, Achane, those types of running backs, smaller, that some teams will say he's not an every down back, and they stamp this kid with you're not a full-time guy stamp that ends up ruining his career. So there is that potential. There is very much that potential. Claiborne, to me, is somebody that costs you absolutely zero. Somebody that you literally can draft at the end of your draft, third round, potentially. I'd reach. I'm not even playing around, because if someone likes him, someone hears something like the video I'm cranking out, they might just take a stab and grab him earlier than you expect. I'm all about grabbing, once you get out of like the top 15 overall in a rookie draft, just grabbing the best player, the guy you want, the guy you can't live without. This is one of those players for me. Claiborne I want on almost every roster. This guy, Keaton Mitchell, is a big-time sleeper. He's also one of the best handcuffs in fantasy. Some of these sleepers, many of the breakouts and sleepers will come from this board. because Coleman's going in the 150s. He remains a breakout sleeper. Corum's going too early to probably call a sleeper. Kalen Black and Jordan James are definitely sleepers. So you're going to get a lot of them from this board. But Mitchell and Coleman and Kalen Black are probably the ones that would scream out to me the most right now. So, of course, I'm going to throw those guys out. Anytime you go in the 150s and beyond, that is a deep sleeper. That is somebody that can win a league from that territory. So Kalen Black, will get Kalen Black on the screen as well. Consider Kalen Black and Jordan James handcuffed. I'm not going to put them both on screen. These are some of the running backs that scream, I can win you a league. The one that is most valuable to me that you can get the deepest, like the zero cost of entry. Coleman costs you something. You know, the Mitchell pick is getting higher. It's climbing and climbing. Claiborne and Kalen Black are practically free, so they're zero risk propositions. Tank Bigsby's got huge upside if he gets into that lineup. He is such a good running back. The metrics are off the chart with Tank Bigsby whenever he gets the football, so he is a fantastic pick. Sharps is even a nice little sleeper because people are not wanting to be patient with him, but he could eventually swing back in the mix, grab a hold of the starting job, even though we are very much Jadarian Price fans on this channel. It's certainly a possibility. Those are some of the best players that I can cook up at the running back position. There's always going to be others. I like Ray Davis. I like Emmett Johnson quite a bit. I think Emmett Johnson, we just showed on that other screen, definitely somebody that needs to be probably looked at. Singleton is another one that I think you would want to look at, but we'll put Emmett Johnson right here. These are some of the deepest running back sleepers in fantasy. If I go to the wide receiver position, we can cook up a bunch of other good stuff. And I'm going to dig pretty deep. This is going to be deeper than even like an Addison or a Jalen Coker. Those are kind of higher drafted players, so I'm going to dig deeper than that. I think Ted Hurst is really, really good. He's in a good situation. Potentially could get tons of work in Tampa Bay at some point. Could take some time. A lot of the breakout wide receivers will be rookies. It just tends to be the case as people, ignore a lot of these rookie players. I think Brazel could be fantastic. I love Brazel. I think Jeremy Bernard's pretty good. Malachi Fields, if, let's say, Neighbor starts the year off on the PUP. Chris Bell's a very good late grab. This is the next potential AJB. Not guaranteed, but I love him. Rookie Miami Dolphin coming back from an ACL tear. Won't be ready for quite some time. I do believe he'll be back at some point this year. Hard to say when, but love drafting some Chris Bell. Isaac Teslaw is fantastic. This kid is going to be probably even better than in best ball than he will be in non-best ball. Could really waste, burn a hole in your roster for like 6 games, 8 games. Like, he could be somebody you monitor depending on the size of your league to pick up and grab later versus grab him now and burn the upside and let everybody know, telegraph what you want, and then that you have to wait on it. You cut him. Somebody else is now going to be watching him because he's on their radar because you picked him up. I think Harris is good. We thought he'd have a good rookie season last year, but I think Harrison LAC could potentially do some damage, potentially. I love Antonio Williams. He's probably one of my favorite wide receiver grabs walking into 2026. He goes into the Deebo Samuel role, the wide back role. No one else in that Washington offense is going to fill that hole, so they handpicked and selected Antonio Williams to be that part. The more and more we hear about Aiyuk just throwing his opportunity down the drain, the more Antonio Williams is just solidifying his usefulness as a rookie. So love Antonio Williams. He's such a good player walking into the season. Looking deeper into the ether of the wide receiver abyss, these are some of my favorites. These are definitely some of my favorites. I think if we go to the tight end position, we'll find a couple names that are some really, really good deep sleepers. We're going to dig quite a bit deeper than I think you even need to draft sometimes. Colby Parkinson, even though he had such a decent year, big 6'6" monster, this guy's going undrafted, so he certainly fits the bill. I think you could probably go Ferguson and him very comfortably in Best Ball Mania as your tight end 2 and 3. I often take 3 tight ends, and then you take one bigger, stronger, better player above that. So that's a tight end that I very much think is a good value. Juwan Johnson's always disrespected, and he continues to deliver. He's a fantastic sleeper tight end, even though he's known. Probably my favorite one on the year is this man right here, AJ Barner in Seattle. I think they lean on him a ton. They're going to throw more. The team's going to be worse. Seattle's not in a better position. They're in a much worse position walking into 2026 than they were coming out of 2025. And they're going to have to throw the ball a lot more in the third and fourth quarter. And AJ Barner could be a league winner at the tight end position. And I don't say that lightly, because talking about a league winner, in Okonkwo, even though Okonkwo is not a sleeper, he's still going so late. I just want to throw out that he is a league winner too. Okonkwo doesn't quite fit the bill for a sleeper, but he's going really late. He's going well outside the top 12 tight ends. So what defines a sleeper depends what you're wanting to throw out there. This guy, AJ Barner, though, outside of Okonkwo, might be the craftiest tight end grab in 2026 if you're going literally cellar dweller shopping. So those are some of the players that I absolutely love in this context. And I got two $20 super chats. Let me hit those real quickly, and then we'll get to the quarterback position. $20 super chats.
Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Thank you very much, my boy, for dropping, both of you guys for dropping the super chats on screen. Appreciate you very, very much for doing that. I think the quarterback position, I'm just scouring my list to see. It's harder to do quarterbacks. Let me get back over to the screen. It's harder to do quarterbacks because it's not like they're quarterbacks sleeping, as much. But I could find a couple. I could say that from a fantasy perspective, he could get given up on quick. It's hard to say, but Malik Willis runs. When you get like 30, 40 yards per game on the ground, that's like, roughly 38 yards a game, 600 or so rushing yards, 5 to 7 rushing touchdowns. Malik Willis, especially in Superflex, is a pretty crafty play. One of my favorite moves in Superflex, though, is to grab Patrick Mahomes at the end of round 1 or the top of round 2, and then you just handcuff him to Justin Fields. And the reason I do that is because even if Mahomes plays week 1, which I fully anticipate he will, this is a situation where you're locking in your QB1, so you can be a little bit more reckless to maybe miss on getting your second quarterback. And the reason that's really important, think about it. If you draft Josh Allen, let's say, and I'm not saying I want Mahomes and Fields over Josh Allen, but I'm just giving you an example that if you draft Josh Allen and he's the only quarterback that you grab and he gets hurt, you're done. Your team's done. If you grab Mahomes and he gets hurt, you still have Fields, or if he misses time or whatever. So this combination makes you a little bit more like Doc Holliday out there, not scared of anything. Because you have one of your QB spots completely locked up, and Fields will produce in KC. So it's one of my most crafty sleeper moves, you could say, in fantasy, even though the Mahomes part is not a sleeper. I think Fernando Mendoza is going to be better than people think once he gets into the lineup. I think Kyler Murray is going to be a lot better than people think in his situation in Minnesota for 1 year. I think Cam Ward's going to be better than people anticipate. I think Brissett's going to produce per game better than people anticipate. And those would probably be the quarterback. There's not going to be a lot with the quarterback position. If I had to dig deep on a sleeper and I said this is a super flex move, go do it, just stash the hell out of it, it'd be Jalen Milroe, who I still think is better than Sam Darnold. There's going to be some growing pains if he gets in there because he's never played. So people that are judging him, I'm going to jump into a Best Ball Mania right now. So hit that green button and jump into the Best Ball Mania, or jump into any draft if you want, side by side. Of course, your boy's probably not going to get a top. What do you guys think I'm going to get pick-wise tonight as it's loading? Jalen Milroe is a fantastic super flex, especially in Dynasty or Keeper super flex. All right. The $20 super chats. Let me hit those real quickly from my boy Eric and my boy Joseph, dropping two $20 wads on screen. Eric says, I'm embarrassed Josh Allen. Let's see. I've embarrassed Josh Allen on my Superflex for 2 years. I am embarrassed, Josh Allen. With guys like Cousins and Darnold, who are your favorite two QBs in Superflex? My favorite two QBs is Josh Allen, Drake May. And then tier break. I do love Burrow. I do love, the quarterbacks. There are a lot of good ones. 85 obviously is right up there, but if it's not my Mahomes and Fields technique later on, if you're missing those bigger names, if you have the 1, 2, or 3 pick and you pass on Josh Allen or Drake May, you're punting your opportunity to dominate in Superflex. Thank you very much. Hopefully the last set of answers also helped you for the Super Chat or this Superflex question. I think Herbert's very underrated, my boy. By the way, surprise, surprise on what pick I got. Joseph, thank you. Smitty and Dynasty, I just got offered Claiborne, Malik Davis, and a 27 second round pick for my Kyron. It's not enough. Kyron commands so much more than that. My gut says no, but what do you think? You got to buy Claiborne free because he is free. You start paying Kyron Williams type price tags, even though you got more in that trade. It's not a lot that's pushing the needle. That's not buying Claiborne cheaply at all. Claiborne needs to be a throw-in. He needs to be completely free, practically free. Won't be free in Dynasty, but you know what I'm saying. Like that's a ridiculous cost of entry. If you ask me, I'm not touching that, bro. That's not even close for me. Let's go into this draft here. Looks like I'm already on the clock. Of course, I got the 10 pick. Why would I get anything different? Let's go Ashton. Let's go Hampton. I've been taking Hampton more and more at the 10, 11, 12 just because of kind of the thinking that we're throwing down as of late. Take players on great offenses, on great teams. I love Genty. I think the Raiders are going to be a really, really good team. But in best ball, if it was Dynasty, I'm taking Genty. But in best ball, I've been leaning a little bit Hampton lately. Doesn't mean I don't take Genty on rotation. I've taken so much Genty already. This is part also me diversifying my portfolio. I have been rinsing and repeating like clockwork the A.J. Brown tied to this situation. But this guy at the 12 pick, Snipe City, took AJB. So let's go with Drake London here. Hampton, London, love that. Thanks for sniping my AJB. Appreciate that. So I'm taking him like 7 picks ahead of ADP. This guy taking him 9 or whatever. Thanks a lot, Steve. By the way, thanks again for those $20 super chats from Eric and Joseph. Eric and Joseph, you guys are absolute.
You've just been Smitty.
Absolute monsters and savages. Thank you both very much for your $20 super chats. If you got any follow-ups, please let me know. I'll be looking for your messages. In fact, let me filter by Eric real quickly and see if Eric has any follow-ups. Eric, if you got a follow-up, let me know, bro. I got you pulled up right here. I don't see anything. And then Joseph, let me type in Joseph and see if Joseph has a follow-up. Joseph Bean, thank you, bro. Joseph, I don't see a follow-up by you either. I'll keep checking to see if you guys have any follow-ups whatsoever. My phone line's also open if either one of you would like to call.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
You thought I'd go Genty over London. I'm trying to diversify a little bit, bro. I try not to draft the same thing every time. I do rinse and repeat a lot because I call it, it's a strategy I've coined called brute force drafting, which is where you just kind of go through stretches of drafting the same thing over and over on purpose and just slightly tweaking things because the ADP and the draft pick you get and how the draft falls, it'll all be slightly different anyway. So you just keep smashing different strategies, get in consume as many variants of a very strong attempt that you like, a bunch of different tweaks and variations, because what if one of them has Claiborne on it and you needed the running back out of your strategy that you rinsed and repeated over and over? Claiborne becomes Kyron, the Kyron of the 2026 draft class. Then all of a sudden that team wins big money. So I like rinsing and repeating, a very sound strategy and approach. Unlike this Devontae Smith at 3.1. These are two of the worst picks in fantasy. I love Zay Flowers. I do. He has no business going 3.3. Devontae Smith at 3.1. I told you that this was climbing. Remember when I got on the phone with Mike from San Diego, who I love? He's my boy. But he started like kind of acting like 3.5 wasn't happening. And then when he's like, okay, maybe that is too high. Then he comes back, says, no, now I'm taking him at 3.2 or 3.3. I'm back in. But now we're sitting here at 3.1. And it's one pick away. Oh, I'm going to time out. Let's go. Let's go Lad McConkey here. I think that we're in for a top 10 wide receiver season out of Lad. I do like to grab Hampton and Lad together if I'm banking on the Mike McDaniel Charger offense blowing up. I think this becomes a pretty fun approach. I'm also going to probably try and grab a Drake May, Joe Burrow, somebody like that later. I do love Josh Allen here. But I'm going to go a different avenue. And I got this guy who's sniping Neighbors and AJB from me, but taking the 4 wide receivers wasn't a very smart move right there. You just put your nail in the coffin there. Let's go with God, I hate this 10 pick. You guys keep seeing me do the same strategy over and over, but I can't help that they're giving me the 10, 11, and 12 over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, over and over again, and over again. Like, you guys have seen me draft from the 10 spot how many times in the last week? It's ridiculous. Devontae is not 25 overall. I know. That's mile high. That's what I keep saying. I just. Where are we at right here? Phone lines are open, dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Getting closer and closer to I Smitty 75%, Mike Evans not quite, but we're getting close to 70 probably, as we should. Devontae Smith is not 25 overall. That's what I keep saying.
Smitty just said that.
Over and over and over. We're not drafting. I'm not drafting. I'm not preaching or teaching. Did anybody take Devontae Smith at mother freaking 3.1? And Monty. It's like the two worst picks in the entire draft are these two right here. Is Aiyuk still? I don't know what Aiyuk has been doing, bro. It's bad. You are live, young man. What is your name and where are you calling from?
It is the one and only Seahawk fan from Philadelphia, Stefan. How you doing, Smitty?
I'm good. What can I do for you?
Obviously, I'm not going to speak on the draft. It looks like you're still, early in your underdog draft, so I'm not going to speak on that. Let me guess. Are you pissed off that you heard me earlier say that the Seahawks are in worse shape than last year? Let me guess. That ruffled your feathers. Smitty, no, I'm not. I'm actually emotionally mature.
All
and,
right. That's good.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's good news.
I deal with a lot of cocky Seahawks fans every day of my life. I know how annoying they are. So just to be honest, I can actually understand why, other NFC West fans may not jive with us.
What's your question?
I get it.
Yeah. All right. What's your question?
Who is better? Yes or no? Who's better, JSN or Puka? I want your take because you're a Cardinals fan. You're unbiased. Because you hate both teams equally, I'm assuming. So
no, I don't hate the Cardinals.
Who's better, Okay. No, I'm saying I
don't hate the Rams. I don't hate. Hold on a second. Let me just. Bashal Tootin or Bucky. This is so tough. I've been going a lot of Bashal to facial. Let's go Bashal Tootin. I just can't stop. I can't stop taking him lately. He's so good here. I love Bucky. I keep taking Bucky and
How
a lot
much
of other
time do
drafts.
you have left, Smitty?
I've already drafted. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on.
No, I was
This is a good
yeah.
squad though. London, McConkey, Mike Evans. Then I got Hampton and Tootin.
Ooh.
All right.
I have McConkey on my Devy team.
Let me grab Drake May here.
I have Justin Herbert. And Lad McConkey on my Devy team. I'm in the middle of a Devy draft right now. Oh, sorry.
Okay. What were you talking about? And we got Hussein.
I was saying, who do you think is better between JSN or Puka just in real life?
JSN is better. He's a better player. Is Puka capable of scoring more? Husseini dropping a $50 wad on screen. Husseini, you monster, you. Hang tight. Let me celebrate that 1 second. JSN's by far and away the better player, but Puka's got more heart and determination and grit than probably any player in the league when he's on the field in terms of going after the football.
Yeah.
But the problem is he's very much attached to Stafford, and no one's seen what that looks like once Stafford falls, away. Maybe McVay even retire. Like, I'm not saying McVay is retiring, but we got to keep in mind McVay almost retired like 2-3 years ago. So who's to say he isn't at his end? And there's some weird discussion, conversation, discord between he and that Ty Simpson pick where he almost looks checked out. I've given the example of you're about to give your 2 weeks notice and everybody at the water cooler is talking about the convention like 2 months from now. And you're like, oh yeah. You're not going to be there. You're like, yeah, it sounds like a great time. You think we're going to go to that restaurant? Yeah, sure. I'm sure we'll go to that restaurant that we like. And so McVay he seems checked out when it comes to Ty Simpson. I could be wrong on that. I'm not trying to make a big, bold prediction there. But when Stafford steps away and I give him 1 year at best of being the exact same player for a whole year and not getting banged up in the middle of a year, Puka does fall off quite a bit. He's very much tied to that. So from a fantasy perspective, could Puka outscore every player in fantasy football, non-quarterback in 2026? Absolutely, that's possible. From a dynasty perspective, give me. I know. I mean, Puka could outscore every single player. He could. But aside from, I do have Chase above him. I do have Gibbs above him, of course. But I'm just telling you that he could be the number one overall player. But from a dynasty perspective, the answer is JSN. All right, real quick, because I got a draft. What else you got real quickly, and then I got to roll.
Oh, yeah. My only, I guess, before I leave, it's kind of random. Do you think for us Herbert truthers, before I leave, do you think there's any chance Herbert can make that leap and jump up into the Burrow conversation, or do you think it's going to be more of the same? Do you think it's going to be I
think he's got a top 5-6 quarterback season this year. Burrow could be 4, 5, 6, 3. Herbert could be 3. He really could have that kind of year. But what happens
if Marion Hampton does his part?
Yeah, but
that'll help. That play action, Justin Herbert will, he'll feast off of that play action.
But what happens when McDaniel gets a head coaching job after 1 year? So we'll see what happens to Herbert then. All right, gotta go, my boy. Yeah. Call back if you got another one. I got to roll right now. Screwed up my back at work. Man, I feel your pain, Husseini. First of all, Husseini, thank you for the $20 super chat again. Where's my Husseini $20 super chat video when I need it? Here we go. Husseini, you still here, my boy? Appreciate you very much. Screwed up his back at work. Always appreciate the hard work and entertainment. And love seeing Rice back in the second round where he belongs, but third round is a steal. Husseini, that's not affecting you coming out to Tempe, is it? I hope not. Oh, I'm going to time out here. Let's go with Kyle Manungai doing it live with the Toot Manungai stack. Husseini, you still heading out, right? I mean, hopefully your back is good, but it sucks throwing your back out. Usually about 4 days, unless you need surgery or something. But like I throw my back out or something, it's like you can't move very well for like 4 days. Then 5 days is rough. Then 6 days you're back on track. I still have some pain. I'm doing push-ups and burpees and running again, but man, I still feel it. But it's not the point where I'm going to throw it out while I'm doing those. It just hurts. Guys, if anybody wants to draft with us, Underdog, promo code Smitty. The link's pinned in the live chat. The link's in the description of the video. The link will get you 50% match on your first deposit and bonus credit. Do it live. Joe Burrow would look great in blue and yellow, says Savaged. Matt with a super chat says trade 1.8 and 1.12. 1 QB start 7 Dynasty 4 Burden. Trade 1.8 and 1.12. 1 QB. Trade 1.8 and 1.12. 1 QB start 7 4 Burden. I would. 100%, Matt. Like, I don't know why I'm even reading that twice. Easy trade. I'm still planning to come. Hopefully this pain goes away in the lower back right side. Yeah, Hussein, you got to be there, bro. We'll put you in whatever we got to put you in, some kind of cart. We'll roll you around, tie you to a clothesline, whatever we got to. Don't worry about it, bro. We won't let anything happen to you. We'll take care of you. We'll carry you if we need to. Put you in a radio flyer wagon, whatever it takes. Husseini, you better be there.
You've just been Smitty approved.
What's the 12 team doing? Trying to lose. Drafting the worst team ever drafted. That team's horrible down at the 12 pick. The team at the 1. But these are the great things, though, because this 1 pick is the most dangerous pick. And when someone screws up the draft like this from the 1 spot, it makes you like really, really feel good because now you have a better chance of slipping into that 2 that advanced from weeks 1 through 14. And then this guy just throwing his draft away in the trash and taking a bunch of good players with him, so it's easier to advance, right? Lamb, AJB, Neighbors, all heavy hitters, taking JD5 and then building a team that has literally no chance to advance is fantastic. Husseini says, I'm still planning to come. That's great news. Rumble, I got 420 man, Simi Valley. Appreciate you. Stafford. There's Gainwell, so I could have stacked it. I'm going to go Matthew. Take my second quarterback. Doing it live. Oh, man. Such a tough spot to be in here. Yeah, back pain does suck, man. I remember before I had like major back pain, and I don't consider myself somebody that's going to always have it. I haven't strengthened my back enough, and Jalen Coker is pretty good here. I keep drafting. I'm going to have to take Keith Mitchell, though, because I don't think he'll come back to me. But I wanted Jalen Coker. Pretty bad. 4 teams smoking? I don't think so, bro. I think the 4 teams got one of the worst strategies going on. I like some of the picks for sure, but I don't think the 4 teams cooking at all. I think even the 3 team just kind of screwed up the running back stable. The 2 teams got a really solid approach, but it's lacking some power. The Puka Nakua team, Chase Brown and Buka Jacobs, BTJ, it's not bad. I don't like the Jacobs pick. I think that'll hold them back. McCaffrey, Achane, Olave, Javonte, Devontae Adams, Tyson. That team's going to be great if McCaffrey can stay healthy. The St. Brown, Walker, Kyron, Etienne, Lamar, Odunze, Godwin. Don't think it's not well-rounded enough, in my opinion. Barkley, Henry, T. Higgins, McLaurin, Watson, Burrow. It's pretty good. I think, whenever you come out with Higgins, McLaurin, and Watson, and you went wide receiver from 3, 4, 5, I feel like you should probably have a little bit tougher wide receiver room. Jonathan Taylor, Genty, McBride, great start, but you're going to suffer at wide receiver. But that's a pretty good Burden and MHJ are some gambles that have more upside to be better than they're getting drafted. So did pretty good there, considering Herbert. I like it. I think you got a shot. You just need those 2 receivers to step up. My team, Hampton, London, McConkey, Evans, Bashal, Tootin, Drake May, Kraft, Monungai, Stafford, Keaton Mitchell, Kufta, Hampton. I like it. It's not my favorite team I've ever drafted, but I almost never get that from the 10 pick because the 10 pick sucks. And I keep getting it over and over and over. I can't get a top 3 pick if I try. I think we've literally gotten one in the last like 25 drafts, gotten even a top 6 pick. It's been almost, odds are almost impossible for this to go the way that it's been going for me to continue to get a 10, 11, or 12 pick every single time we draft. It's been wild. It's been a wild ride. All right, let's go. Jalen Coker's still there. That was the pick I was going to take anyway. And I took Keaton Mitchell. If I get Jalen Coker here, I'll be pretty excited. Good chance he goes here. He's the most attractive piece. Nope. We got him. I like that. That's a great wide receiver 4. Love Jalen Coker. I would have been happy with Diggs probably there. I think I would have been okay with Diggs. I would have been okay with Goddard. I like Chigakonkwo here as the second tight end. 10 pick is the best pick anyway. I disagree, man. The best pick is 1. The second best pick is 2. The third best pick is 3. All right, here we go. We'll go Malik Willis. No, not worried about your QBs in week 11. I just took Malik Willis, so no, I'm not. Not at all. Not at all. Although, Malik Willis could, what if he loses the job or something? But, like, you can't play scared like that. He's very much entrenched in the QB1 role. There's nothing to worry about on that. Malik Willis is great. You think the number 1 spot is the best? The number 1 team here is one of the worst that drafted. But, yes, the number 1 spot is by far and away. It's not even debatable, bro. You have such a huge advantage just getting Jahmyr Gibbs alone. And you have such a huge advantage getting 2 back-to-back players that are the caliber of Pickens, McBride, Bowers. It's just an untouchable draft spot if you deploy it right. Unless you take Devontae Smith and Montgomery with 2 of your top 4 picks from the 1 spot. That's how you punt your team. But is the 1 pick the best spot? By far. It's not even debatable. Gavin says, Gavin, what's surprising about that, Gavin? What? How are you even debating? Gavin, my phone line's open. You seem to run your mouth about it so much.
Call into the show. Call in.
Dial in. Explain to me how I'm so off my rocker. Explain to me how I'm off my rocker with my take about the 1 pick being the best pick. Explain to me how I'm off my rocker that Jalen Coker is a great wide receiver 4, especially waiting this long to grab one with the build that I'm building. Fantasy explain me, and my phone line's wide open for you. I'll wait. You probably won't call. This number 1 draft slot definitely is drafting really badly. Let's go with Coleman here. Love Jonah Coleman in the 150s. It's just a steal. Hammer, if you're watching right now, look, 150 sitting right there. You got to take advantage. 135 would have been a reach on Coleman that if I had Harvey, I might have partaken in because I wouldn't want to push my luck here. But he falls there even when you push your luck quite a bit. Husseini. Oh, Husseini, and love seeing Rice back. Did I read this part yet? Husseini, you still there? He said also, and I love seeing Rice back in the 2nd round where he belongs, but the 3rd round is a steal. It is a shame seeing Rice climb, but I don't know, is he in the 2nd round locked in or just in this draft? Because I don't know. I'll check the ADP in a second because I don't know that he's returned there yet. I like Tesla a lot here. I like Tank Bigsby a lot here. I'll go Tank. I think Tank's a real good pick here. All right, let me go look at the ADP rankings real quick because I don't know if that's correct. I will be shocked if you're correct. Yeah, he's still at 20. He's still at 3.2, 3.3. So he's not, Rice is not returned around 2 yet. But he might have gone in this draft, but that's one draft. So he's not back where he belongs yet. We're still stealing him away, Husseini. But every day we don't hear from the league on a suspension is a day we know that we're closer to him not missing a single game this year.
Let him cook.
Gibbs stepping in the end zone, maybe, man. 20 plus times. 20 plus touchdowns for Jahmyr Gibbs. 18 to 20 touchdowns for Jamar Chase. This is the two-headed monster. Go watch the video if you haven't seen my two-headed monster video, which I coined two-headed monster back in 2001/2002. Well, really before that, but that's when I put out a bunch of content on it. Radio, did a lot of radio back in 2000 to 2000, about 2002 to 2021, I think 2021, right after the pandemic. That's when the radio show, longest running fantasy football radio show on terrestrial radio on the CBS and NBC sports dial, went down because of the pandemic. But anyway, doing fantasy that long, coined the two-headed monster in the business. A lot of people have talked about it. They don't realize where it derived and evolved from. But the two-headed monster usually is an RB 1 and 2 overall picks. But this year, the two-headed monster, in my opinion, and I'm the one that coined the phrase, is Gibbs and Jamar Chase, because they're both 18 to 20 touchdown capable players. And you could get 38 to 40 touchdowns with these two guys. Potentially, it's not guaranteed, but potentially you're getting that this year. Another great player, if he falls to me right here as a wide receiver 5, considering the build, considering the late wide receiver building that I'm doing, Antonio Williams, Jalen Coker. I love those two wide receivers to go next to the two that I have already, or the three, which are Drake London, Lab McConkey, Mike Evans, to go with Tootin and Hampton, to go with Drake May, to go with Tucker Kraft, to go with Monangai Stafford, Keaton Mitchell, Cuff to Hampton, Coker, Malik Willis, Jonah Coleman, Tank Bigsby, and now Antonio Williams. Love the squad so far. Not my favorite team. Do I think it wins it all? No. Probably not. This doesn't feel like the team. I usually put a bunch of emojis. I edit the title of it, so I remember where I drafted it. Sometimes I'll date it, what stream I was on. Or I'll just put a bunch of fire emojis or whatever. I don't think I'll do that with this one. I want to. Probably won't. Go with the good old Sean Tucker, maybe? Or do I roll with... Let's go Kalen Black. What do I need here? I need... I've got 3 quarterbacks. Got the bye week covered. I got tons of running backs, more than I should have. I need another wide receiver. I need another tight end. Can't draft another running back, unfortunately. I got too many. Got way too many. I should have probably not taken Kalen Black there, but I couldn't help myself. Free Aiyuk, he's done nothing wrong. Sure, Torres. Torres never agrees with logic and never agrees with anything on this channel. What kind of person thinks about Aiyuk doing nothing wrong, Torres? Again, Torres, my phone line's open if you would like to tell the world how Aiyuk has done nothing wrong. You can't do it, though. I know you can't. That's why you won't call on it. You'll literally have zero argument, and you'll just sit there.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Rock out. You are live, young man.
Yeah, I want your opinion on the wide receivers in the 5th round of this draft.
All right, hit me with it.
Did you think BTJ went a little too high?
In this draft that I'm drafting in?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Hold on. Let me scroll up. Are you in this one?
No, BTJ
okay.
and then Watson and also Harrison.
Yeah, this was a little weird. We have a few people because this is our community, so there's some snipage going on. And so I mean, taking BTJ at 53 is unnecessary, but I can't help that people draft who we talk about. This is way too high. Way too high. But, some of these other drafters kind of counterbalance some of it. They really screwed up their drafts. That guy in the 1 pick, I don't know what he's doing. The guy in the 12 pick has got one of the worst teams I've ever seen. So, let's go with what do you think? Go Aiyuk here?
You can go if you want.
Let's go Malachi Fields. I think he's going to get run no matter what, especially with. And then I need a tight end that I can count on by just rolling with 2 tight ends. I've got Kraft. I'm not extremely comfortable with Kraft staying healthy all year. He's got to start the season, which I think he will, but you just never know. So I think I'm going to roll with, I like Parkinson, man. I know he's in a questionable situation for sure, but I still think he's by far and away the best player on the team. Pulled in 8 touchdowns last year. I don't think people realize he had 8 touchdowns and 400 yards. Why would you walk away from that? Every tight end that they brought in could be for, just running the personnel that they want to run and block more. And so I'm not worried about anything in particular. I just think he's a really, really good option. So I went with Parkinson. They both have the same bye week, but I don't really care so much because even if I draft a third one, what if they don't score a single point? I'm not too worried about having a bye week conflict with my tight end position, unless it was eliminator or something. So I'm pretty good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Team 12 is one of the worst teams I've ever seen. This is garbage. Lamb, A.J. Brown, Neighbors. I mean, obviously you're going to like the receiver room. Ted McMillan, then DJ Moore. But Jaden Daniels, Dak Prescott, Dowdle, Gainwell, Rashad White, Diggs, Hunter. Awful. The 1 pick could have been so good. Hampton. Okay, I didn't judge the 11 team. JJ, Cook, Josh Allen, Garrett Wilson, Bucky, Tate. That's definitely one of our people because they were sniping. That's a good team. You did good. See, you follow the Fantasy Football Show blueprint, and you get a good little squad. Nice team, my boy.
How about the 9 pick?
9 pick, JT, Genty, McBride, Burden. Like I said earlier, I already graded that one. I said that Burden and Harrison got to land, but if they do, those are the 2 wide receivers I think that fit really well with waiting and hoping you get a lot more bang for the buck. So that's a good team. Wandell, not bad. It's good team. What else you got, Rock Out? Anything else?
What's your feeling on Rice? Some people are way down on him for whatever reason. I know he got his legal trouble and all that, but he's still a solid guy.
Rice?
Yeah.
I mean, Rice is every day we don't hear from the NFL makes me think they're not doing anything. So we'll see. I mean, NFL's weird. You just never know. They could come out tomorrow. Could come out tomorrow and be some breaking news live stream suspended for 6 games, and the NFLPA is like, it can only be 4. What are you doing? And there's a big old controversy, gets nailed and drawn back to 4. Hard to say. 12 team is lit. It's probably your team. It's lit on fire is what he did. Come on, bro. Anyway, what else you got, bro?
I know you talked a lot about Henderson, but how much work do you think Stevenson's going to get?
I mean, we talked about this earlier today. Rock out. We were hitting this up and saying that he's probably going to start off on the wrong side of 50%, and that doesn't mean that it can't flip in a matter of weeks. So all we need to do is get Hendy into that 55% to 61%. 61% is what Jahmyr Gibbs gets. 55 to 59 is what ETN got. And that's what a running back with the skill set that Hendy has, that's all he needs. I think right now he's probably feeling a little around the 30%. But the thing is, a lot of this 30, 35%, even if it's 40%, if you want to go off carries, we might be closer to something around the 40s, but it's trash carries. It's not even really true to the percentage of divide because, again, many of the games, if anybody watched football last year and didn't just box score Bobby it, they would literally have Hendy getting like 8 or 9 carries, and at the very end of the game, they give him a crap carry, give him another crap carry, give him another crap carry, just trying to run the clock out. They're not even trying to get a first down. And all of a sudden, he's got 5, 6 more carries in a matter of like 2 drives. And then everyone's like, look, he got 14, Stevenson got 13. Stevenson played better on his 13 carries. And people don't know what in the hell is going on. He needs to get 55 to 61% of the running back work, but he needs to get the good stuff. And could it take half a year? Maybe. Could it take 4 weeks? Maybe. Could it be week 3? Maybe. Could he do it? Could he pop off a 65-yard touchdown run in week 1 and they just keep feeding him at 45% of the volume and he keeps delivering fresh efficiency, and then he just kind of, in like week 4 or 5, they start to transition him into. Remember, Stevenson could get hurt. He's older. Stevenson can fumble the job away. It's not like he's gotten rid of all of his fumble problems. He's done a good job, honestly, but.
Well, the Patriots didn't really care about his fumble problem last year.
Well, he did it. He cleaned it up, but it doesn't mean it won't return. We've seen fumbling problems return, and it's a hard thing to break. He's an older player. Hard to kind of imagine that he figured it out all of a sudden. All right, rock out. Hold on 1 second. Let me hit this. We will be going into extender mode. So anybody wants to change the topic entirely and extend the show 10 minutes or 5 minutes, we're going to start off with 10. Every $20 super chat extends the show an additional 5 minutes, and you get to have, the entire extender to be whatever topic you want, or if I cover the whole topic, we'll dig for another topic. But it is up to you guys if you would love to change the topic and trajectory of the show. But we have that up on screen. The show ends in 9 minutes and 54 seconds, unless somebody wants to control the topic and extend the show. I tried the tripod with CMC, HN, and Allen, and Evans felt like it fell apart after Evans, though my only CMC draft pick was... Okay, the tripod is right here.
The tripod strategy, inspired by pyramids in ancient Egypt, involves drafting running backs in rounds 1 and 2, followed by a quarterback in rounds 3 or 4, which can potentially turn the tripod into a quadpod.
And when you're in 4 and 5, you're trying to grab 2 of these wide receivers, roughly. There's a couple other names, but you're grabbing Josh Allen, 2 RBs, and you're still able to get Abuka in 4 and Adams in 5. Potentially a Neighbors in 4, Adams in 5. Garrett Wilson can fall into 5. Sometimes Mike Evans can fall that late. Sometimes, you don't get these guys and you have to resort to something else. And then the other thing is, abort the tripod if you believe that there are players that are better than Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the best player available. But usually like in the mid 3rd to late 4th round. But if there's other players on the board, then go Drake May in 6 and abort the tripod. Don't just stick to it no matter what. Tripod's there in case you fall into that strategy, not something you should force per se. Eight minutes and 14 seconds left, unless someone wants to extend the show and control the topic. Sick Nasty, appreciate you, my boy. Sick Nasty, Blackbeard, Travis, if he's out there. The Bolt. I haven't seen the Bolt in a while. Maybe he's here, or maybe I haven't seen him and he's been here. Aldi, Simi Valley is here pretty much every single show lately. 420, I see you. I appreciate you. Vampy. Torres, I don't even read what you say anymore, just so you know. You write these long paragraphs, cool story, but then you're defying everything the show says, no matter what the message. I just don't. At some point, you're just going to be blocked, to be honest. Because everyone just gets tired of the anti-person, this constant anti, no matter what. It's just my opinion. It's not your opinion. You're trying to go against everything, no matter what logical take the show brings or I bring to the table. You're literally anti no matter what. And at some point it gets old and people just don't want to read it anymore. So just figure it out, bro. Figure out how to just be quiet sometimes. Thank you, Blackbeard. Appreciate you. Travis watching from the shadows. I got head out, big meeting in the morning, says Michael. Michael, appreciate you. Torres, if I was to accidentally have read your message right now because it was short, no one hates you. You hate the show. You realize that, right? It's nonstop. Travis says he'll call in if someone extends the show. And sometimes when someone extends the show, it triggers more extenders, and a show almost falls to the wayside, and then boom, it goes 3 hours. We've been live for 57 minutes. Let's see if the show ends before 1 hour and 5 minutes or 4 minutes, or if this goes some weird time we never expected. I'll write down the time that it is right now. It's 57. This might be. You watch every show and you love it, but then why is everything out of your mouth the reverse or anti whatever? Ask the chat. The chat will tell you. I don't know why you're confused. It's so funny when people are like, it's just my opinion. I'm not like Smitty doesn't let you have a different opinion. He'll block you if you have a different opinion. It's the furthest thing from the truth. It's probably one of the biggest lies ever told about me. The truth is, you can just ask the chat and they'll say, yes, bro, you were always negative. Always negative. I love the channel. What are you talking about? What are my exposures on Underdog? Let me pull it up here. In the 2026 campaign, which would be like the best ball manias, Jonah Coleman at 70%. Love that. And then there's a big drop off. Like, that's crazy that I have a 70% Jonah Coleman, and it's free. It's 150. It's in the 150s. Mike Evans at 44%. Somebody said 70% no. And I got Antonio Williams for, wow, that's high, 40%. Bashal Tootin, 34%. Buka, 33%. Harold Fannin, 32%. Manungai, 32%. Jeremiah Love, BTJ, JJ, and Drake May. And yeah, wow, Josh Allen, I got a 20%. But Drake May, AJB, BTJ, those are all in the top 20. My last show, no, it's not. Stop. You'll be back tomorrow. Or you could just stop being negative. That's your own choice. You're going to leave, then leave. Like, no one's going to beg you to stay and be negative. Why don't you just stay and be positive? Or not. It's fine. I'm not going to beg you to stay and be negative, bro. What do you got, Rock Out? Anything left? 3 minutes left. Anything else, my boy, Rock Out?
Yeah, can I get your opinion on my terrible team?
Sure.
All right. Quarterback, Jackson, May, Brissett. Running back, Henry, Harvey, Daddle, Spears, Singleton. Wide receiver, Jefferson, McConkey, Evans, Dobbs, Coker, Debo Samuel, Brazel. Tight end, Fannin, Goddard, Alton.
Nice job. Nice job, my boy. Yeah, I'm surprised some of my exposure levels on some other players aren't higher, but the problem is, like, again, you run into, like, you know, you can't really be highest on, like, Gibbs, or because you're only getting that pick one out of, you know, it's like flipping a coin 12 times, you know. You're only getting the one pick so many times. So it's hard for me to get those numbers up on like Gibbs. Adams is pretty high at 20%. I've been drafting him a lot lately. Genty 20%. Henderson about 18%. JSN that's pretty high for JSN given, but that's because he could be had at 4, 5, 6, 3. JSN at about 18%. I like that. You'll hear some people say you shouldn't have more than 7 to 9% on a, like, that's okay. That's your opinion. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How many subscribers are we at on Rumble? Let me see. Let me go check. Rumble's been cooked. We've been cooking on Rumble. It's been fantastic. 17,444. It's unbelievable. And if anybody does a $20 super chat, I'll do another draft. But you have 47 seconds to decide. I kind of want to redeem that draft. Just wasn't happy. I hate the 10. Why can't I get a 1 or a 2 pick, damn it?
Getting close to 20K on Rumble.
Yep. Rock out. We're out of here. Appreciate you, my boy. We'll see you later.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, Jonathan Brooks, I am on the Jonathan Brooks train at the current cost of entry, my boy, but that could change with the snap of a finger. If Jonathan Brooks starts going in the 7th round, I think I'll probably be very close to being out. But if Jonathan Brooks stays in the 9th round, especially when he's in the 10th round, I'm very, very much into that value. That value's great. So it just depends on where he floats. Right now, currently, I'm very, very much intrigued by Jonathan Brooks and continue to draft him. I'd say I would say my. Look at this. Look at this. Rhino says we're not going anywhere.
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a $20 super chat.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
That's my boy coming in strong, Rhino, with the $20 super chat. And that's going to extend, like I said, another draft. Thank you, Rhino. Appreciate you. Let's get into a weekly winners. Weekly winners. Let's do that. I would like to get an early pick, please. I know I'm going to get a 10 or 11 or 12. I know I'm going to get a 10, 11, 12. Can I just get like a top 6? Is that too much to ask? Thank you for dropping the extender, my boy. We're gonna take the timer off because we're going into another draft. But if anybody drops a $20 super chat, we can bank it for the ending and put when the draft comes to a conclusion, or we get really close to the conclusion of the draft, I'll put the timer up. We'll add another 5 onto the bank. So appreciate you very, very much for dropping that. Let me see what draft slot I got. Well, it wasn't what I asked for, but I got the 7, which is, a lot better than I've been getting. I like the 7. The 7's fine. The closer I am to the middle, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd even say I like 8 a little more than 9, 10, 11, 12. Could I like 12 or 11 more than 9 or 10? Maybe. But I definitely don't love at all getting the 10, 11, 12 consistently. Like, this is pretty good. Who's in this draft? Who got in this draft? And the super chat from Rhino says, is Henry and a first enough for Hendy and Dynasty? You're probably overpaying based on the market value. I would definitely, Travis, you can call in if you want. I would definitely rather have a little more, because I feel like it depends on where the pick is. If it's like a 12 pick, 11 pick, I guess I would. I like it in JSN here. This is great. Weekly winners, JSN's fine. That's a great pick. He's so consistent, dropping top 5 wide receiver numbers each week. Probably one of the most consistent wide receivers in the league, and he's only getting better. So JSN's fantastic. And this is a good spot to maybe get like a Hampton still. I could go, because it's weekly winners, I'd be more apt from this spot. Hampton, okay. Thanks. I'd be more apt to go. I love Caleb Williams with this next pick, and I want QB. Please don't take Caleb right here. I mean, who do I have to mention to get taken? I think if you're in a weekly winner, this is a weekly winner. It means there's no playoffs. There's no accumulation of weeks. One week doesn't have to do with another. There's a real chance that I might go wide receiver, running back, or depending on how it falls, of course. But part of me is wanting to go like Josh Allen, or I'll go AJB in May maybe, and then go running. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what it looks like. I'll count some ADP spots and see what I can get away with. Although wearing my strategy on my sleeve doesn't really bode well in these drafts anyway, so I don't know. All right, so almost on the clock here. And, Achan's here. If he's there, I'm probably going to take him. I like AJB a lot. Walker's still here. As much as I am a little concerned about Achan, not from a weekly winner standpoint, I want to go AJB here, though. Let's try it. I finally don't get a 10 or 11 or 12, and I decide to swing away, Merrill. But this is best. I mean, look, AJB and Achan are best players available here. AJB is a weekly winners monster. JSN weekly winners monster. This is probably the one contest where if you were trying to assemble a Harvey, Jonah Coleman, Monungai, and Jonathan Brooks running back stable in weekly winners with no big name running backs, this is the contest that you would do it in, because we're trying to just get it all to pop in 1 week. No playoffs, no accumulation of points, no one individual week has anything to do with the other. Week 1 doesn't have to do with week 2. Week 17 has nothing to do with week 16. It's just 17 shots at 20K. and a clean slate each week. It's called Weekly Winners. It's probably my favorite contest on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. The link is pinned in the live chat. The link is in the description of the video. The link inserts code Smitty, which you can just manually insert if you want. New customers get 50% match on the first deposit, all the way up to $1,000 in bonus credit. Liking this so far. Husseini, you still with us with the back? Travis, you can call in. You're more than welcome to dial in. Rock out. You can dial in again if you want while we're drafting here, whatever you guys prefer. Devontae Smith, again, love to see that. Love to see him get taken early. Just bumps another player down. Jeremiah Love probably won't fall. He's the second-ranked player here. Kyron is I think I'm still going to go, I'd probably go Neighbors here. In Weekly Winners, right? Why not? That's a really good pick here, although I'm wearing it on my sleeve. I would have went McBride for sure. God, I have allergies or something. My nose is completely just itchy. My face is I hate the weather changes in Arizona, and it's as you get older too, you start to get allergies. And I love Buka, man. I want to go Buka. Part of me wants to go Neighbors here and just cook later on in the season. Let's try a Neighbors. So we got JSN, AJB, Neighbors. Wow. Let's try a hero or zero RB. Let's try a zero RB if it continues to work out. And let's build a team that has Menunguys and guys like that at the running back position. Not that I'm afraid to grab a Tootin or Bucky or do Tootin and Bucky. I could definitely take Tootin and Bucky. But I think this is the approach that I want to roll with. I like this approach a lot. And it looks like we're probably at, let's see, the quarterbacks that go around this 6th round pick. It's pushing the limits of getting any of the quarterbacks we really, really want. But I'm not afraid to not go Drake May and AJB. Although in weeklies, it feels like that's a recipe for 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns from AJB and 4 from Drake May. That feels like the kind of, with Neighbors late in the season popping off, that feels like the kind of weekly winner team you want. So we're going to have to weigh out whether Bucky or Tootin is better than Drake May. Not here, but the next pick, because Drake May's pushing it to make it to the 6th round pick. So I wouldn't be, and I'm saying this out loud, and one of you is going to snipe me, but just draft your own team. Don't worry about my team. Worry about your team. Sick Nasty said he tried a zero RB the other day, but did you try it? Did you try it in a weekly winner though? Because weekly winner is completely different. You can have Jonathan Brooks and Menunga as your running back 1 and 2 in a weekly winner. It's just different because you don't need it to happen for 17 weeks. You just need it to pop off at some point. Man, the thing is, Drake May's supposed to make it to the next pick. I could go Mike Evans here. I'm going to go Hendy, though. I'm going to go Hendy. Because Hendy's got top 1 to 5 running back appeal. Keep in mind, if anybody doesn't remember, I'll tell you again and refresh your memory. Hendy had 4 2 TD games last year. 4 of them. One of which was a 3 touchdown game. Hendy has had 4, not even starting 4 games, has had 4 2 touchdown games. Doing it live. I like this team so far. And you know what? Sick Nasty isn't wrong. This could go downhill really quickly. Yes, it was weeklies, but couldn't pass on Gibbs or Bijan with the pick. Yeah, I'm taking Gibbs at 1.1 no matter what. no matter what. See, this is a weird part of the draft. I hate even saying that. I say this and he's going to go because you guys, I don't know how to tell people to draft their own teams too when we're doing a draft like this. Drake May's ADP clears my pick by quite a bit. Like he's not even in a scroll, right? So any other draft, I'd get him 100% because he's literally, his ADP is like right 65. It's like right here in round number 6. So I normally would get him here, but someone's going to be like, I'm just going to take him because Smitty likes him and I'm going to grab him. But we'll see. We'll see. If that happens, we've got Bucky. We've got Tootin. We're very much recovering very nicely from the no running backs through our first 3 picks. Getting Hendy and Bucky or Tootin would be fantastic in a weekly winner contest. But I think I will commit to the Drake May if he's there. Adams is a nice pick too. I would have very much went Adams if I didn't get. Now this guy probably won't go bully QB, but who knows? He went Monty in round 4. He's a wild man. You just don't know. He might be getting crafty. Okay, so Drake May's there. Not to say I won't consider. Sit here and pause and say Tootin would look nice on this team. We'll go Drake May. So weekly winners, Drake May, AJ Brown, JSN, Neighbors, Hendy. The only thing that made me want to go Tootin is I know if JD5, his ADP is 2 picks after this pick, or 1 or 2 picks after this pick. If JD5 falls here, I'm going to probably be mad at myself that I didn't get Tootin in JD5, but you can't get too upset over that kind of stuff. And Tyson's there, MHJ, DK. I feel like there's a little bit of a drop off. I could just go JD5 and bully QB the thing. Darian Price was a very early pick. Now look at JD5. Oh, there he goes, JD5. Okay. Well, I forget I'm drafting with my people, so there's no way JD5 would have fallen. So never mind. Tyler Warren ain't bad right here. Jordan Tyson's pretty good. Man, Chuba Hubbard's going so high. He's like within reach here, which is kind of wild in my opinion. I think that's a little high. I love Tyler Warren right here. This guy's got a tight end, so he probably won't take Tyler Warren, I don't think. I love your team, bro. You're definitely one of our people. Hampton, Bowers, Igbuka, Burden, and Tootin. I think you timed out right there. Quentin Johnson, bro, what are you doing? You just screwed it up. Bro, you had it. You had it. BTJ or Tyler Warren. Oh, man. You guys know I keep going BT. I like this wide receiver situation. And with Neighbors, there's so many. There's Goddards. There's so many tight ends. I'm going to go BTJ here. I really want to go Warren. I love Warren here. But BTJ, number 4 wide receiver, you can't trip and fall into that. That's a really good hero. It's kind of a zero-turned hero RB approach. Hero from round 4. Hero from round 4. Zero-turned hero is what we're looking at right there. Torres, did you decide to be just more positive, or did you decide to leave? You know you're still watching, bro. You know you aren't going anywhere. If I had $1 for every time somebody said, I'm out of here, and then didn't return, you know this is the best place to consume content. You know this is the best show on planet Earth. You know you ain't going nowhere. Just be more positive. That's all I've asked you to do. And yet you want to cry about leaving. And you know I'm not going to beg you to stay. You're going to be negative, Mr. Negative around here. But if you change your tune, you'd be a happy contributor. You know what I'm saying, bro? What's the deal with the Halani first team reps? I mean, he's got the most experience right now, and they can't put a rookie in there yet. He's still learning the system. Metcalf, nice pick. That's something I would have. Let's see what the 1 pick's doing. Gibbs, Nico, Rice, Jacobs. Oh, that's great news, though. I like that he took Jacobs. But Jacobs in a weekly could do, he could have a game. So that's not the end of the world. Weeklies is very different because, like example, drafting a Caleb, drafting a Christian McCaffrey, especially drafting a Henry, very different. I draft Christian McCaffrey in weeklies. I do. I'm fine with that because you just need to try and pull it all together for one big swing, like 1 week. And the better your team is, the more games your players play, the more likely you're going to, have more shots at 20K because you got to be almost perfect. You could have a near perfect week and then the next week you have the perfect week. So T. Law ain't bad as another quarterback option, but I think I'll keep punting that. Harold Fannon's there. I don't have my tight end yet. That's a really, really good pick. Let's see here. 93. This is going to be close. I like Harold Fannin here, but I think I'm going to roll with Kyle Monangai. Just feel like this is going to be a 1,000 to 1,100 yard, 8 touchdown season for Kyle Monangai. And I love Fannin, but our rule about drafting players on great teams, I'm not saying I won't draft Fannin. I love Fannin, but when it comes down to, making a decision like this, and I say Goddard's later, he's sitting there. Goddard is down there. I love Chigakonkwo. Great offense. I just think the difference between Okonkwo and Fannin is negligible, whereas the Monangai piece for this build especially, I need this shot at a 100-yard touchdown player, and I love Monangai this year. I think Monangai is going to be a monster. And Fannin could still fall to me because, look, he's on the line, the cutoff line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I like this team. I think the 7th spot is not. No, I don't think they're the 7th spot in my. My 7th spot is a good pick. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, the 6th spot. I don't think the 6th spot drafted pristinely. I think that was kind of a slip up there. Don't like Monty. It's just not a good pick. Okay. Oh, Fannin. Did Fannin go? He did. RJ Harvey, Patty Mahomes. I mean, let's go RJ Harvey. Let's do the Harvey, Coleman, Monangai, Hendy. This is a good little rotation I think we got going on there. I like it. I like Mahomes here, but there's some other quarterback, and I'm kind of banking right on Drake May. I'm not saying I won't back it up, but there's a really good chance if Drake May goes down. There's a world where it's probably not likely that I'm winning 20K if Drake May is not in the picture. You know what I mean? So, like, in a way, I almost could draft 0 other quarterbacks. And the reason I say that, too, is I've got A.J. Brown tied to it. So if Drake May goes down, A.J. Brown doesn't explode, my team's not doing anything. In a way, I almost think I might maybe back up my quarterback with one player, but only if it fits. This might be a team where I do not draft a backup quarterback, and I just say it's weekly winners. I'm not trying to win 17 straight weeks together. I'm trying to win one contest. And if it gets me extra pieces, I don't think with A.J. Brown and Drake May neutralized, this team is going to do it. You never know. It would be sad to know you missed 20K because you didn't grab a backup and the rest of your team exploded, including AJB. He has 100 yards and a touchdown with the backup. So I probably will if I can back it up, but not. This might be a team where I never draft the backup for the first time. I don't draft it. Although, like, I look at, there's a couple players I love right here. I do like Mahomes if he were to fall. He's still sitting there. It's a very tempting pick for me. I love Patrick Mahomes there. Okay, that took away. Don't take Jaden Reed right here. Don't take Jaden Reed. Please don't. Reed, I want him so bad. Don't take him. Jaden Reed's my guy. Jonathan Brooks, great selection. Love it. Round 9. I'm still smashing the hell out of that. Look at those RBs. That's pretty good. JSN, AJ Brown, Neighbors, and BTJ. Hendy, Monungai, Harvey, Brooks. Like it. Bo Nix, there you go. My weekly winners team so far. Puka, Pickens, Rice, Hendy, May. Like it, Loveland. Nice work, bro. Whatever you guys do, please don't take Mark Andrews. He's on the cutoff right here. Don't take Mark Andrews, please. I'm begging you, leave Mark Andrews for me. I think Jalen Warren at that 7 spot is a banger. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I mean, 7 spot of what? Where? What pick? Jalen Warren. Where did he go? I don't know. Man, Kyler ain't bad here if I was to go. Because I'm looking at it. I don't think I'm missing anything key or vital. I guess I haven't taken a tight end yet. Let's go Kyler. Now I do feel better having Kyler, just in case, like, let's say AJB has 100 yards and a touchdown, and Drake May only has the touchdown to AJB, but AJB cooks. And let's say Kyler gets me 30 points or something. Like, it will be nice to have it. But that's all I want. I'm not going to back up anything else at QB. I'm just going to let this ride. There's a couple players I want, but I think they'll fall to my next pick pretty nicely. There's a particular player. There's 2 particular players that I want really, really badly. If I didn't go Kyler, I would have reached on one of them who would have probably fallen to my next pick, but this would allow me to consume all 3. Whereas now taking Kyler, 2 of them will go right around my pick, and then the other one I'll be able to get. But that's sometimes why you have to reach, is because you will not be able to get all 3 of these targets when 3 of them go within that same, like, period. You know what I mean? So, but that's okay. I think Kyler was pretty solid. I wouldn't have gone out of my way for my backup quarterback, but that's a pretty good pick. Sam Darnold would have been nice too because I got JSN, but I don't know. I don't see myself winning weekly winners with Sam Darnold scoring 4 touchdowns. So, but I could be wrong. He could have that game, I suppose. They are going to be thrown from behind. Chuck was a good quarterback to, I think, grab if Kyler was good. But Kyler runs. I like it. It's pretty decent. This next player, I think, is critical, ultra critical for my team. I didn't expect Goddard to be there. I think Goddard's going to cook. But yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it. I was going to grab somebody else. I think I'll take Goddard. I think the only thing I'm worried about with Goddard is he could get hurt. So I kind of got to back him up, which is fine. I was probably going to take at least one backup tight end, you know. But Who's dialing in?
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Hello? Hello? Man, this is tough. Do I push it with one of these guys? I don't know. This is why taking Kyler was a problem, because if I just started reaching with that Kyler pick, I could have landed pretty much every target I had. Okonkwo was the guy I was going to take instead of Goddard. I think Okonkwo is going to cook. Part of me, maybe my only regret is not just taking Okonkwo there. But I really do think Goddard per start will cook. And given that he could get hurt, you know, I want to have a backup at some point. But I still think Goddard, definitely with AJB gone, is capable of those 2 touchdown games, you know. So I feel pretty good about that. I like Jalen Coker here, but I don't necessarily need a receiver anyway. I think it's just smart to grab Jonah Coleman early. I don't want him to get snagged. So now my running back stable is as follows. We have, ladies and gentlemen, JSN, AJB, Malik Neighbors, weekly winners, by the way. We don't care if Neighbors misses half a year or whatever. I mean, it would be better if he didn't, because then we'd have a lot more shots at 20K. But every week, the winner gets 20K. There's no accumulation of points, no playoffs, nothing. It's just 17 individual chances to get 20K. 10K goes to second place, 9K goes to third, etc., etc. JSN, AJ Brown, Neighbors, Hendy, Drake May, BTJ, Manungai Harvey, Jonathan Brooks, Kyler Goddard, and Jonah Coleman. Love the squad. The squad's feeling nice and crispy. Nice and just lined up perfectly. Not much I'm regretting other than maybe just saying, like, I do really, really, really like Okonkwo, and I just wanted Okonkwo and Goddard is what I was trying to do. But I would have missed Coleman. You know, this is why I'm saying maybe I should have just passed on Kyler. You know, but then again, it's like, what do you do if everything pops? But the court, like, it's hard. It's a hard decision. What if that extender wins Smitty 20K? Rhino, remind me, like, keep tabs on this team, maybe. Like, save this live stream. Maybe you were the one. That I definitely think, Rhino, if that happened, I'd be, you know, I'd be making sure that we sent you something special. Shelly made it, but late. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, buddies. What do we got here? Okay. Well, do we go Tank Bigsby or Keaton? Okay. Keaton Mitchell just went. I like these steps at the RBs. We're really good at wide receiver. I think I'll just take a swing on Tank Bigsby and just keep compiling running backs. Again, weekly winners, I'm not worried about. I got such good receivers. I'll grab probably like a Malachi Fields to replace Neighbors, but I don't even know how many wide receivers I'm going to take because I beefed up at the wide receiver position so well. I'm counting on those guys winning me. There's strategies involved. The more stabs I take at RB, if I took running back the rest of the way, then I'm giving my running back room the chance that it really needs, whereas the wide receiver room will be just fine. And if I don't have my top 4 guys, at least 3 of them, firing off, really all 4, you know, Neighbors has to be back. I'm not winning 20K anyway, because you have to be perfect. Your team has to just explode, and you have to have perfection to win that 20K. You're going up against 200,000 people. at once. This is the only contest really where everyone's going up against each other at once. Like 200,000 people at one time. You really need it all to just pop. And so I'm taking more gambles at the wide receiver position over and over, or the running back position over and over versus grabbing any of these receivers. I might grab one wide receiver. Let me look at the RBs and see if I can afford to wait. I think I can. The RBs, the next RBs that are on my list would probably be so far down there that I'm really okay going wide receiver here, I guess. Sam Darnold, I guess. Man, maybe I do go Darnold here with JSN. Okay. I did not expect that. That was not on my bingo card. That I was going to take another quarterback. I can't believe he kept falling. I've got JSN. Got a little cross-stream QB wide receiver situation going. Sam Darnold, JSN, AJB, Drake May. Venkman said not to cross streams, but Venkman's full of shit. Whose birthday is it? Or is that just pizza party? Whose birthday is it? Oh, is it Shelly's birthday today, right? Or it was. Happy birthday again. Happy birthday again. You're live. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Hey, Smitty. It's Chris. I'm calling from Washington. Love
Yellow.
the show, bro.
Thank you. What can I do for you?
I think your team's freaking amazing tonight. Finally get out of that end of the 11 or 10 spots. Finally caught you.
I mean, you just see me drafting from 10 over and over. How much can I do from that spot?
I swear, if you put like a bet on Kowski or whatever that betting app is on how often you hit the 10 or 11.
What can I do for you, bro?
I wanted to know, your theme seems to be a lot of wide receivers early. What's your against on running back?
Well, I'm not against. I'm about best player available. You know that. I'm not against any of that.
Yeah. I feel like my strategy last year, and I know you say you always go best player. Last year's strategy, you pretty much throw it out the window, and you got to go with a new strategy most years.
You just got to take the bet. You don't go with a strategy, bro. The strategy comes to you. Like, that's what I think a lot of people don't get is like you shouldn't settle on anything, man. You should just you got to be able to navigate it all, right? But you should just take the best player available, and that's what I did here. And then later on, I reflect on what strategy I took. I'm like, hey, I guess I went hero. Like, I wasn't planning on doing any of this. I'm going to probably I do need another wide receiver. Just one, maybe. I'm going to bank that Debo goes somewhere and he's useful. I'm going to bank that. That's fine. But yeah, no, it's not about like when someone says, why don't you go running back? I do. I'll go running back. I'll go wide receiver. I'll go balance. Balance is the key. Balance is the best thing you can do for yourself. But it doesn't mean you can't win without balance. You can come back around and get lucky in a sleeper. But the only thing I would say is for certain is do not go wide receiver from like 12 or 11. That is really not.
Yeah, that seems like a death trap.
It's not good.
I agree on that so much that I feel like the dead zone on the running backs is so underrated this year. I think you have to snag them earlier, and that's what makes them the best value in the round. Even if they're ranked lower, I feel like reaching for that Genty JSN, even though they're ranked lower. Last year I reached for those running backs, and I went for your favorites, the Triple H and Associates, to spend on the wide receivers. I could get like a Genty, and then I could just swing for a Buka later or Pickens later, and I ended up making it to the finals a lot just because of that strategy. And I feel it's even stronger this year, and people think the dead zone of the running back is just so there's only a few premier. Even Jonathan Taylor Like, I think they need to be moved up ahead of those wide receivers, and
Yeah.
then
I don't know.
you could swing around.
I mean,
and reach for the
I don't
Ibukas.
know that I agree full. I mean, the running backs extend all the way. Look at Achan going deep. Chase Brown. I mean, this is the second round. There was players, littered all the way through it. But I think
they get snagged.
Yeah, I think in the
you
third
have so
round,
many creams to pick from. Yeah, but they get taken by the second round. I mean, I definitely would rather have a Chase Brown than a Genty than anyone else, and that was my problem last year.
Yeah, I think balance is better though. But I hear what you're saying. But I definitely think balance is your friend. Balance is a better chance, in my opinion. Hold on one second. Let me see. Sean Tucker. I'll go Sean Tucker.
Yeah, I like where Kraft is going too. He's going so late, and I think Kraft is going to be a
Goddard. Oh, I still need another
deal.
Okay, I know what I'm going to do next. All right, anything else, my boy?
Is question on the weekly winners. What's the scoring on that? Is that PPR? Is it half?
Everything's half on Underdog.
Everything's half?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, man. Great show.
Man.
I love seeing you. I hope you get another early draft next time.
Thanks, pal. See you later.
All right, bye.
Travis, you are live, young man. 8 minutes and 35 seconds left unless we get an extender. Every $20 will extend the show another 5 minutes. Travis, you are live.
So, yeah, so I didn't hear exactly what you said when the guy was talking about Jaylen Warren, but I mean, I don't mind Jaylen Warren as like a flex player, but
yeah, I don't know.
McCarthy loves Dowdle.
Yeah, I'm not into Jaylen Warren.
He really likes him.
I'm not into Jaylen Warren.
Let's see, 87 is Dowdle, and Warren is what?
Yeah. I mean, I've always liked Jaylen Warren.
Warren's before Dowdle, like a full round before Dowdle.
I've always liked him, but I don't think he's like. I don't think he's gonna be consistent, and I think Dowdle is just better. If Goddard goes down, how confident scale of 1 to 10 Stowers becomes relevant pretty quickly? Because he's like kind of trailing behind right now, but it's early.
I think I don't know, 1 to 10, maybe 7. I'm pretty confident only because
I grab him.
If he goes down, in terms of big body guys, they don't have anyone.
Yeah.
So it would have to be like Hollywood or Wicks making up the difference, or Calculator.
The Calculator.
He's going to.
The Calcaterra. I think I think Goddard and Stowers is pretty safe in weeklies. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I could go another tight end if I want, but I got to decide whether I go Kalen Black or I'd grab like a Colby Parkinson or whatever. Or I could go, where's my boy Claiborne? I could go Claiborne. So Claiborne or Kalen Black. I don't have Jordan James. This is my last pick. I think, we haven't done a lot of Claiborne, and that's the kind of headliner.
Weekly winner, shoot for a couple big weeks with Claiborne, maybe.
Yeah, let's go with the headliner. I got Bigsby, I got Coleman. So just to recap on this team, again, it's weekly winners. It's not a playoff-based thing at all. Week 17, you could have everybody suspended for 16 weeks on your team, and they all come back for week 17, and you can win $20,000. JSN, AJB, Neighbors, Hendy, Drake May, BTJ, Manungai Harvey, Brooks, Kyler, Goddard, Coleman, Bigsby, Darnold, Debo Samuel, Sean Tucker. I wish we had taken Kalen Black there, but I figure Tucker is safe because if I have a team is popping off and I'm like, damn it, my running backs are hurt or whatever, that at least he could get 10, 12 points or something. And I'm sure that a couple weekly winners last year, there's players that scored 9 and 12 points on that team potentially. Claiborne is there. Parkinson is there.
And if I remember, I think Tucker every year has at least, last year he had, 1 week, 34 points, 19 for 106 with 2. I think the year before he had a couple big games. 14 for 136, 34 points again.
Thank you, Rhino.
So he has like one big pop-off game a year, even in the role he's in.
Yeah.
Tucker.
Rhino, thank you very much for that extender, by the way. Is Henry in the first? What did you think about Rhino? You still there? Rhino says, is Henry, I see your Emmett Johnson suggestion. I liked him too, yeah. Is Henry and a first rounder enough for Hendy in Dynasty, or is it too much? And let's just say it's a 10 pick.
What was it again? Sorry.
Let's say 1.10, 2027, and Derrick Henry, or do you want Hendy? 1.10, Derrick Henry or Hendy?
I mean, I'll take Hendy unless it's like one of those things where I'm like stacked, I can win now. Then, maybe you lean Henry just because.
I'd try and get more if you
year,
can.
but-
Like if someone,
Right.
if he's willing to throw in something you like that he doesn't like, but you might not be able to get it. Sometimes a first, second round swap feels decent enough to where you're like, okay, now
I was
I'm
just
trying.
gonna say,
try and
especially
move.
if it's like a 1.10 and you're getting like the 2.4,
Yeah,
you're
you-
only dropping 6 spots.
Yeah, you could probably trade that 1.10 as if it's higher than that. But at the end of the day, if you have 2 seconds, maybe you can try and figure out how to, the new second you acquired. I don't know if that's possible for you, Rhino. Rhino, appreciate you. It's AZ. What?
Grab Emmett, it's AZ.
It's AZ. What's that mean? Maybe he's typing a number. And he typed in AZ.
Oh, it's healing. Healing AZ. Healing from the chat. Is that right? Rhino is healing?
I don't think so. He's saying, saying he has Hendy. Healing has Hendy.
Oh,
I'd rather have Hendy, but I feel like you can get more. But if you're both watching, it's fair. Like, it's fair. Like, if whoever's getting Henry, like Travis said, if they can win now and you're getting a protective measure piece to cover Hendy in case Henry goes down right away, and then you're like, okay, well, I got something for Hendy, and maybe it works out, So I think it's a good move for anybody that could win now.
That's a reasonable ask.
I agree. So it's a really solid trade. I would rather have Hendy, but that's me. Some people don't believe in Hendy, man, and that's okay. More for the rest of us. And is there a risk that look at Bucky? Bucky's a lot. We still like Bucky, but he's a lot riskier this year than he was coming out, going into his sophomore year, coming out of his rookie year, going into his sophomore year. We're all excited. It didn't feel like a negative, cloud over his value at all. Things happen. So one more season of doubt around him, he could change in value, and you'd be like, damn, I could have won a championship with Henry and got a 1.7 it ended up being or something. But I'd rather have Hendy. I believe in Hendy. You have Henry now.
Do you think with Stowers, he's a little behind now because they're, working him with tight ends and stuff, but if an injury happened, would they maybe would Calcaterra go into that traditional tight end role and they bump him into like a big slot or something? Like I could see something like that happening too, where they, he may not be playing tons of snaps, but they're running him out there to get that Goddard receiving work. And then when they need blockers, they just have Calcaterra out there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. The calculator.
I also wonder too, it's not going to be a ton of them, but does he run some of the AJB routes? Because he's big, he's fast.
Goddard?
He can get downfield.
Goddard?
No, Stowers.
Oh, Stowers. Yeah, he could. I think he's a little ways away from playing. So that's the only problem. But eventually, eventually though, I do think he's gonna be good. It could take a little longer than we want, unfortunately. We want everything now with rookies, and I'll admit, sometimes I feel that way. Kyle Williams is a perfect example of it's gonna happen, and the situation was beautiful. And he actually did some good, last year at times. I remember with my best ball mania team that went really far, he was helpful, but sometimes rookies take a lot longer than you want. It's something you got to plan for. 45 seconds. We're out of here. Travis, any final thoughts?
Yeah, well, just on the Stowers thing, I forgot they signed Munt. Is it Johnny Munt or whatever?
Yeah.
He's a pretty good blocking tight end too, so that that's probably going to hold Stowers back in that area. But,
They took him high enough though that I think they want to use him.
right.
We'll see.
They're going to. I think, like you said, it could just be a slow go at first.
I mean, he's really good.
But they didn't draft him to block though. That's the thing. Like
He's better
to be a
than
willing blocker.
Lemon. He's better than Lemon.
I agree. I like
People
him
aren't.
more.
Lemon owners won't want to hear that. Lemon owners are going to argue against it. Lemon owners are go, oh my God, did he just say that? Just wait. All right, Travis. See you later, pal.
Yep. Thanks, Smitty. Later.
We are out of here. Appreciate every single one of you. Live when big news breaks. We're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, almost every single Monday through Friday. Live when big news breaks and live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. Thank you for my super chats. Everybody, you're amazing. Thank you, Joseph Bean. Are you still out there? And Eric Korolowski. Appreciate both you gentlemen. Are you still there? If so, standing ovation real quick before we leave for both of you. Appreciate everything you guys do. Husseini dropping the $50 super chat. What a monster. Husseini, you still out there? I'm sorry to hear about your back, bro. But you are coming out to Tempe no matter what. We will wheel you around, put you in a radio flyer wagon, whatever we've got to do. BBQ to the moon, yeah. Thank you, Husseini. Thank you, Matt, for the super chat. Thank you, Rhino, for the extender. Joseph and Eric, again, appreciate both of you. You guys are fantastic. Actually, I'll just send you to Jupiter.
To Jupiter.
To Jupiter. Appreciate you both for dropping those early super chats. And then Rhino and Husseini. Thank you so much, guys. See you later. Appreciate everybody over in the Rumble chat. We'll see you tomorrow. If you missed it, don't forget to go watch the two-headed monster video that's on the YouTube channel. I'll try and upload that to Rumble as well. Thank you, Blackbeard. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Sick Nasty. Thank you, DeBalt. If you're out there, I don't know. I haven't seen DeBalt in a while. Thank you, Simi Valley. He's on both chats all the time. Thank you, Aldi. Perry, if you're out there. See you all later. Vampy. Graveyard Crew out. Deuce. Stay loose.